Okay, strap in for a fairly long one, 30 minutes almost of a screenwriter's journey, 142. Uh, Idea 362-ish. Yeah, that's not far from the truth, sadly. Just getting my keyboard out of the way because it's going to be a while. Meeting with Holly doesn't go as planned. Angry, betrayed. Holly's feelings. What you beg, you don't understand, you don't understand. So I'm kind of half writing dialogue, half outlining the story here. So she's ungrateful. How would Paul fit into this? Takes it in, calls Rachel. Knows something a lie. Asking for time out. How bad of a person would be if Holly didn't clear it with her parents? See, gosh, this is just, I mean, literally pulling ideas out of various body parts at this point. It's kind of sad. I don't know that I shouldn't say that. I was going to say I don't know that I've ever had a script that I just lost the story on like this. I have had scripts that I've done page one rewrites on, plenty of scripts. I would say more often than not, strangely enough. Sometimes the story doesn't change a bunch, sometimes it does. So maybe it's just the fact that I'm documenting this and it just is so painful to watch and go through. And the more the more I work on this, the less and less I expect anyone to take any interest in this, unless, as I've said before, A, you are a student and you get assigned this in class, or B, you are watching these YouTube videos after this becomes a tremendous success and you wonder, wow, how is that script written? At this point, I'm not going to bank on the second one. So I'm asking questions there. It's always a question of how much can a character do before he or she alienates the audience. And it seems today, not today, but in the last many years, the answer to that is almost anything. Because unlike the Jimmy Stewart days, the John Wayne days, and even more recently than that, you had to be a pretty good hero. I mean, you could have faults and stuff, but you really couldn't do too much bad or the audience wouldn't like you. But now kind of the flawed hero, or I don't know about anti-hero, but definitely the flawed hero is much more of a thing. I mean, think about any given movie. I don't need to give examples, and I'm sure several will come to the top of your mind. So as you see, I'm kind of writing dialogue. So, and I'm also obviously having second thoughts about Paul. Where does he appear? What role does he play? I've always pictured him as the mentor role, who, like Obi-Wan, would get killed at some point. But I just haven't been able to make that work. I don't think I've written a version where he dies. All right, now I'm totally got the story figured out. Not. And I'm back to, what is this? December 11th. So 6 weeks, pretty much. I'm doing this for you. So now, given what I just was writing there on my notes in my outline, I'm probably going to have to revisit this scene pretty heavily. And I could just continue with the dead air, or I could comment on something. I don't really know what specifically. Just frankly kind of floundering with this now that I wrote what I wrote. I definitely want Holly and Lexi to end this scene on some antagonistic, on some conflict level, some rising drama. Then I have this little even when you agree to disagree, obviously that could be several different levels of animosity between the two. But again, I think this scene is lasting a little too long. When Lexi says some people are happy with the way things are, could obviously be taken a couple of ways. It could include Holly being her sort of mentor person, even though right now neither of them is really feeling it. So, yeah, that, I don't know if that ends with enough of a punch or not. Speaking of which, now she's punching the bag and talking, you don't understand. Boom, boom, you don't understand. I don't know. Who loves that dialogue? The only reason I like it is because of the colleague, who should probably have a name, is saying take it easy on her, meaning double meaning, or at least double meaning. Oh, it's not great dialogue still. And I think I've mentioned before, on some of these, I'm trying to get Holly to speak as little as possible. Just because, obviously, that's not necessarily the case. Trying to get this across that she's saying tough day, but Holly is answering elsewise. And then I gave up on that idea and get the old, do you want to talk about it? So that gives the colleague more chance to talk, because Holly is just literally punching the bag, which kind of answers the question. And then obviously tells something about Holly when she says, great conversation, I've always loved the way you open up, meaning that she never does, being sarcastic. And so here it comes as the colleague starts off, and now Holly starts venting. News to her, news to the audience too. That's kind of a clever, aka too clever line. Not really cutesy, but I mean it. I don't know. Sometimes I write those and I love them, and I come back and then I despise them, and sometimes I don't mind them so much. I mean, it's not horrible, but I don't know that. And I thought she made the mistake, obviously insinuating that Holly did, by turning down better assignments. So I don't know what Lexi's would be in that case. The mistake of getting in a fight with her, I guess, and not appreciating what she did. Man, I just listened back to myself because I had to punch in here and I sound like I'm either asleep or totally down in the dumps. In my defense, I did get up at 4 o'clock this morning to drive my son and his family to the airport, and it was an hour and 10 minutes each way. And then I had my first day of a new job. So, yeah, I've been up for 15 hours already. So there. That's, and to boot, this script is like not going super great, but I'm dedicated to chronicling my time. Trying to make a difference, trying yes, failing yes. It's just so, what am I doing here? Trying to make a difference. Giving up. How can be so ungrateful? I mean, that's really where the scene starts, isn't it? How can she be so ungrateful? I wonder, I just realized that maybe I need to see if I've rewritten this scene, and if so, I can fix it up. So then the point here that I'm trying to get across is that this lady, the colleague who is a lady, which I'm going, whom I'm going to name in a future draft, is saying that, you know, you're not even her real aunt, and if you had kids, then you would have kind of a different perspective on this. And then never say never. Raucous. Scowling. Ooh, a scowling, humorless laugh. What would that sound like? Ha ha ha. Whoop. I guess that should be scowling, comma, humorless. Just saying, and then she leaves. So the colleague's just there sort of as a sounding board, obviously. And then we pop into Lexi's bedroom. Could be they could share for all we know, although probably not at their ages. Now I am trying out some new dialogue. And this is a case where, I don't know if it's written this way yet, but it's sort of going to be a case where they're not even talking to each other, which is kind of I invented this. No, it's kind of a cool thing that I've seen, that we've all seen, where, I mean, they hear each other, but it's not like back and forth talking to each other. They're on their own kind of wavelength, and yet what they each say sort of relates to what the other said, but not really. It's almost like each of them is having a monologue, alternating with the other person talking. Which is literally what this is so far. It's kind of interesting. They're almost answering their own questions. Then I make it obvious, neither addressing the other. But then at some point, you know, I think you have to bring the two separate thoughts together. Still have the ant angle in there. Gosh, it's crazy. I thought I discarded that. Man, that wasn't a yawn. But if you did either way, you get closure. So in this draft, Abby is the one who's suggesting that sort of to get closure. I may see fit to make that Lexi, because she is more of, you know, the character arc person. Heck no. So, oh man, sorry, I'm not talking much. Or maybe that's a good thing. So completely changed. And at this point, their plans haven't changed, and they do not include Holly, obviously. Am I going to change her? Never say never. Ooh, our sarcastic is probably better. Enjoy the rest of your therapy session. And then punching and kicking. I mean, that's a decent ending. I don't know if it'll stay, but that's a decent ending. Let's see if I do any work on this. So they're still not talking to each other. Okay. Just sleeping through day 142 in terms of voiceover, that is. Okay, Holly's in the kitchen. Look at that Daily Wire news feed. Huh, what do you know? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got rid of it. Didn't want to ask him for permission or forgiveness or maybe product placement. So, yeah, the idea here, it's not that Rachel is texting her. I think this is the first. Well, no, this isn't the first we know they're in communication because we've already heard their conversation. So then Holly calls her. So this is 2 pages. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad scene. It's just way too long. Look how long that is. I think it's close to 3 pages. And I keep going back and forth and toying with the idea of, does Holly think that, let me start again. Does Holly think that Lexi will be in any sort of danger? What possible danger would she be in? From Rachel, from someone she knows, Rachel knows, someone Lexi knows, I don't know. So, remember, so just little tweaks there. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm just now changing the name of that, but I don't think this is going to stick. Although it pyramids nicely. That's always important when you're coming up with a title. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Please don't read this. If I had the power, I would stop this and cut this out. Obviously, I do have the power, and I'm choosing not to because I'm taking the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is ugly. I nearly can't believe I wrote this. I had this idea. So you can see what she's doing. Literally, I don't know if it's literally kidnapping, but absconding with her. This is a horrible idea. I mean, I kind of see why I did it. We're on page 22, so we're nearing the act break, and so I'm making Holly proactive because, gosh, I don't know. In that earlier draft, the act break was when Holly left, and then Luke and Abby got kidnapped. And then So you say, well, where's Holly's protagonistic action in that? And it was going after them, but she didn't make that decision. Well, I guess what I justified back then was her going off to do the whole Supreme Court thing. That was her proactive movement. She's washing her hands of this. And then, of course, the person watching or even reading this is not going to think for a minute that we're not going to see Lexi and Abby and Jake and Luke again. So that whole idea, and I think this was an idea that the guy who wrote this, he is a real clown. The guy who read this said is that, hey, really, are you even going to be able to fool the audience, or is she going to be that big of a jerk that she would leave this girl? Even, she didn't know she had gotten kidnapped. But anyways, now things have obviously completely changed. So she basically kidnaps, which is ironic because then, of course, something similar is going to happen to Lexi again. I mean, this is just bad. It's just bad to the bone. Oh my gosh, I completely wrote this scene. Oh my gosh. Oh. Do yourself a favor and either quit watching this or fast forward. No wonder this day took so long. Virgin writing. Wow. Wow. This is just struggling like never struggled before. And I say that in all candor and knowing what I wrote between then and now. And frankly, is what I've been writing the last 2 weeks better than this? I don't know. Oh, I mean, it's just, I hope nobody likes what I'm writing here because I sure don't. Leave a comment. Watch The Key on Amazon Prime, etc., etc. Subscribe. I haven't gotten any new subscribers in a long time, and I'm beginning to know now why that is. I think I've got like 19 subscribers to my channel. This is just, it's just frankly bad. It doesn't belong in this part of the script. It's not the debate. It's not the break into two. It's a road trip. This might work earlier on, or this might work on page 30, 35, 40. I don't know if you can hear my wife talking upstairs as a bonus about secret stuff. So it's a double bonus. So crap. Oh, but at least I deleted a big chunk of stuff. You can see my page count is 117. 115. That's the only good news of the last 20 minutes of writing. Oh, how clever, and what can I get you? For dessert, is she going to say? Oh, the young lady, a new aunt. Wah, wah, wah. Blah, blah, blah. This could work as a road trip, which I say that foreshadowing what is going to happen in the next revision of the script. I hate to say it. Oh my gosh. Has that been 30 minutes already? Wow. Well, I don't apologize often, but I do apologize. Oh, no, sorry. I'm back. That didn't feel like 30 minutes. I guess I should fix that. No, I got to let her play it where it lies, as they say in golf. Please change that line. Please change that line. Oh, it's no better. Oh my goodness. Just like so I was sort of saying this could probably work as a road trip if it was that kind of a talky movie, but I mean, it doesn't belong here structurally in the story. Unless this is going to be the break into two right here. Let's just see if it is. Will I change the dialogue again? Whoop. Yes. My spell checking, thesaurus, word web. I don't know if I've ever used that word web. I don't even know what that is. Leave a comment. This, oh gosh, it's just so bad. It's times like these, and I don't remember, obviously, if I thought it was crap when I wrote it, I would have just not written it. So I don't think it's crap. Well, I didn't think it's crap, but obviously not a fan now. You see, again, Lexi has a disproportionate amount of lines, which I'm trying to sort of hold to, which is kind of hard. I mean, the Holly character is the main character, and she's kind of the star, and yet I'm giving her less and less lines. I don't know that would appeal to this person that I have my eye on. And the other thing is, it's just talk. I just try to cut down and have more action, and I just am not succeeding. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Literally, what, 4 times? I mean, unless there's some symbolism behind a pack of grape jam or jelly, it's like, what are you even doing here, Jack? Have you gone crazy? Have you lost your mind? Oh, look at that. A real diabolical rebel there. I mean, and then obviously talking about smashing grapes in a vineyard or wherever they smash them with their feet in some big kettle or something. This is probably the least I've said, because I'm just watching this and I'm almost in horror of it. I'm chagrined. I'm probably not quite ashamed, disappointed in myself, perhaps. And then someone will read this and go, "What a great scene, Jack. The symbolism is really on the nose," which of course it is, and that's not good. Is on the nose and on the button, is that the same thing? I don't know. Oh, another product placement. Smuckers. Ah, thank goodness. I think I'm done. I'm going to stop the recording before I see it again. So 142, if you watch this, I will give you a gold medal of valor or silver star or something like that. I just hope it gets better. I can't guarantee it. See ya.